Hi there everybody, this is David, and today we're going to be talking about Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Yuji Horii and the producer himself of Dragon Quest VII came out and they did a full interview, and there's a whole new trailer and everything else that I definitely do want to deep dive into, and I have it all translated for you too into English so we know exactly what they're talking about. And I'm going to be going through with a fine-tooth comb today so we can see what is going on with this game. What are all the changes? What are they doing with this? And I definitely do think that's what the sub is. You come and you join a party and you level on up with me. Thank you so much for your sub, your like, and your brand new hype. It helps me out a ton. So let's go ahead and get started going through this together. As we do see Yuji Horii and the producer talking, I'm going to kind of say what they're saying because, just listening to them go on or whatever, it's kind of hard to do on a smaller screen, especially if you're watching on mobile. So here we go. Oh my gosh, I am so excited, y'all. I love this game. I love this game. Here we are. There he is. There's Yuji Horii. It says, "Good evening, everybody. Yuji Horii here. I'm Takeshi Ichikawa, the producer for Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined has just been announced." Look at those slimes. They're so big. I love them. Actually, those are the slimes you're going to be getting in the collector's edition. I thought that they were... I love that. He goes, "Did that surprise you?" And he just claps. Dragon Quest VII is the seventh mainline installment in the series that first released on the PlayStation in 2000. This RPG begins with a spark of curiosity amongst a group of friends living in a seaside town on the only island in the world. In search of strange stone tablets, our protagonists travel beyond the oceans and transcend time. Throughout their adventure, they uncover the hidden truths of their world. To rebuild Dragon Quest VII from the ground up, we get to change the graphics, the narratives, the battles, the side content, the systems, and all the other elements have all been revamped for modern audiences to enjoy. To signify this complete renewal, we've named the title Reimagined. For this game, we scanned figurines like this one here of the hero to create the in-game models. They are very well done, and they are, look at that, look at the fabric and everything. It looks really cool. They use a Fantasia and diorama sort of thing. Using graphical aesthetic that we call the diorama style, we've depicted the stories and characters' emotions in an entirely new way. To deliver a fresh and fuller narrative experience, we also reworked the story, retaining some elements and omitting others. As a result, the overall narrative is better paced and features new episodes. Yeah. Okay, here we go. We renewed the Vocation system by removing monster vocations. I wanted to pause on this one scene right here. Okay, this scene right here. So they're in the overworld right here, and it's what is going on? What are they talking about? Who is this girl right there? What is happening? You see everybody else, but who's that girl? Who's that mysterious woman right there? Well, you know who that mysterious woman is? Using the power of Google Translate. This is the All Trades Abbey girl, the Dharma Temple girl. It says, yes, it's Malika. If you're looking to change jobs, leave it to me, the High Priest, so let's get started. This is amazing. This means that you are able to change jobs in the field. You don't have to go all the way back to All Trades Abbey and change your jobs there. You can do it in the menu right whenever you want to. Another thing that you don't have to go back and do is go back to Maribel's house and pick up, an extra party member. You don't have to pick anybody up, because it used to be the fifth party member would have to stand around and fishbell or whatever and wait for y'all to come. But as you can see, all the party members are right here, so you can switch your party out in the menu, and you can also switch out your jobs right here on the fly. That is so nice. It says that they removed monster vocations as well, so that they're just streamlining it and everything, and I don't like how they're losing content that way, but it is interesting that they are talking about removing those monster job classes. Another thing that I do want to point out on this screen right here is there's a sparkly shiny right there. So there are sparkly shinies on the world map as well, just like in the other remakes that we have seen. Also, another thing right here on this screen, if you look here, I also have this one Google translated, so let's go over to this one right here. Gabbo's, or Ruff's, beginning job class was called the Wolf Boy, and if you look right here, whenever these party members joined up your party, they didn't have a job class, like they were just unclassed, they didn't get anything. But now it looks like they actually have a job class, and that would be Wolf Boy right here for Gabbo. That's his starting standard job class, and it has 8 stars in it, so it is a job class that you can master that is character specific as well. So that's very, very, very interesting. So it kind of felt to me at the in the original game that you were kind of like wasting time before you got to Dharma Temple, but now because you are able to level up their basic beginner job classes, you won't be wasting time right there. And also, since they are switching things around, I would guess that Dharma Temple would come earlier than it did in the original version of the game. Let's continue on. By adding in the moonlighting system, so characters can now have 2 different vocations, and then it goes on to this screen, and there's a lot going on this screen, so I also have this one Google translated for y'all. Let's look at this right here, and it talks about how you're combining different vocations vastly broadens the scope of developing your party, and it shows you the different job classes that we have here, and it also shows you what they can do with like their pepped up powers, or what their special skill or ability is right here. For the pirate, it says every time that you attack, your defense and attack power increases and your HP recovers. For the wise man or the high wizard, it says the spells that we chant echo like an echo, meaning that you get like 2 casts of your spell as well. For the Battle Master, it says abandon defense and dramatically increase the power of physical attacks, kind of like a berserker sort of thing. For the Superstar, it says it makes it easier for allies other than yourself to burst charge. And then it has the Paladin Guard right there, which I can't read because my closed captioning thing is over it right there, but it says probably so with the Knight stance you probably block incoming attacks or whatever. For the Shepherd, it says the called sheep pursues after the Lord's attack, so it's probably you get your attack in and then like a sheep comes in and does extra attacks. They can summon a sheep or a pet monster right there. For the Bard, we have a powerful Rhapsody that reduces MP consumption of all allies to 0. That's really nice, so free spells. The Thief says you can act again by inflicting a status ailment on an enemy, so if you poison them or sleep them or whatever, you get an extra turn. The Wizard says spells cast will go out of control for several turns, so you get like hugely damaging spells. And the Battle Master says abandon defense and dramatically increase the power of physical attack. So we have the Battle Master twice in there right there. So very, very, very cool. Let's continue on and see what Yuji Horii and the producer have to say. I can't even deal with this. This is so cool. We hope you enjoy all the innovations that we've brought to Dragon Quest VII. There he's getting the tablet. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined will release on February the 5th. Pre-orders available starting today. There's also be special editions that include some wonderful bonuses, including that slime, that huge slime that he had on his lap. I thought it was going to be a smaller slime, I talked about that, but it looks like it's going to be that big slime that he has right there. The game is much more approachable to play. Now it feels like the right time to share the unique atmosphere of Dragon Quest VII's story with even more people. I'm so excited. It's a collection of heartfelt tales and struggles against adversity that we hope that you will enjoy. How timely. Is this esoteric Clara? Searching for tablets is much easier too, by the way. The story of Dragon Quest VII isn't tied to the other games, so it can be enjoyed just as much as newcomers to the series. We'll have more to share at the Tokyo Game Show, so stay tuned. Yay! It's 5 months until launch. I'm just clapping just like he is, so please hold tight. And do give the new Dragon Quest 1 and 2 a try as well. I will, Yuji Horii! It's coming out October the 30th. We hope they're excited for launch. I am super excited for launch. Bye, guys. His shirt says, I think it says esoteric glamour. I don't know. But like him just like clapping like that was everything to me. I'm so all about this. I'm so excited for this game. Like there's so much here. I love the moonlighting thing that's going on. I love the quality of life additions that they're putting in. It seems to be a really, really thoughtful remake. I did want to touch upon the diorama style. We saw that first with Fantasian, with the dolls and the dioramas and things like that, and then now they're taking that and they're building it upon with Dragon Quest VII right here, and it looks like they're not going to tie it into Dragon Quest II because they said it was a standalone story, and it is kind of like a weirdo retcon sort of thing to turn that little thing into, you know, having him be the Prince of Midenhall's ancestor or whatever that we heard about. But this is just super, super exciting to me. Another thing that I want to talk about, the company that's developing Dragon Quest VII is also the same company that's developing Dragon Quest XII. So maybe that's why 12 is delayed, because they've been putting all their work into this right here. So yeah, super exciting news. But now I want to hear from y'all. What do you think about this? What do you feel about this? Are you as excited about this as I am? Because I cannot get enough Dragon Quest news. Let me know in the comments, and have a good day.